Hello, everybody. Welcome to another class where we're going to tackle another bunch of UV Unwrapping challenge. This specific UV Unwrapping challenge is for, let's load up the artwork. So we done the card. So we're going to move on to like a lantern. So like this. You see how beautiful these UVs are unwrapped, for example. We want to achieve something similar to this. You see everything is like this. And you also notice that how the UVs are straight. And this is a metallic surface, by the way, but you notice how the UVs are straight. So now that we looked at what we're aiming for UV wise, let's tackle let's dabble in and start to not texture, but UV unwrap this asset. So I'm going to navigate to where this asset is saved. So I'm just going to copy this link here because I'm going to start up Maya. So once Maya is started up, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my project to that folder, servicing folder, 2025 fall. Click on that. Then I'm going to press open. And then I'm going to go servicing one, and I'm going to go scene. Okay, look for scene. Scene. Now I'm going to go date by modify, and the one that I want is lantern 01. I'm going to open that. So here we are. Here's the lantern scene. A couple of things. I'm going to also go to this folder. Scene. I'm also going to take this lantern and go to teams. Go to surfacing, file, and I'm simply going to take this old lantern and drop it here. See, it says old lantern. You can go ahead and download this, and also after you download it, you place it in your project area for surfacing, please. In terms of when I want this UV unwrapping to be done, you can just watch the video, and even though this particular assignment is a short turnaround, you could still watch the video and take your time, because we just wrap up like an assignment for me. So still look at the due date, for example. Feel free to start your unwrapping. All right, feel free to start your unwrapping and stuff. So yeah, feel free to do that. All right, so yeah. So first thing, as I do this, first thing I do, you notice what I like to do. This is version 1. I like to version up. Version 2 before I start. So the next thing I want to do if you know me so far, I like to select everything, press the W key, go to UV editor, bring that up. As you can see, UV is a mess over here. Then I'm going to go UV, planar project, option box, bring that up. We'll edit, reset, and I'm going to turn on camera projection, keep it width and height ratio, and I'm going to hit project. As soon as I hit project, I'm going to right click and go to object mode, select everything, press F in the UV editor. As soon as I did that, something happened. I don't think I've seen my UV. My UVs are not there. What about, okay, how about UV set editor? Oh, okay. I know my UVs are not there. So from the get-go, once I run that thing on my, once I run the planar, for example, it went ahead and if I click go to UV set editor, remember that thing we were having the issue with the cart? So if I select this piece, it has two UV sets. Pay attention to UV editor here. Click on the UV map one. So unfortunately, the UVs are not on map one, they're on UV map. We need to copy it over. Simple as that. So select this, go to UV set, copy map one. Then you can select this guy here and delete it. And while we're cleaning up this, we want to create a folder, temporary folder, just by clicking select this and click on the blue orb. And just add these guys to it as we clean up. So this thing here, map one, UV set, copy, map one, select this and delete. Right click, add selected object. And we have these little knobs here. Believe it or not, they're important. So UV, copy UV, map one, select UV map, delete. Since it's two of them, we're going to move on to the other one. So UV map, set, copy, map one, select, and delete. So select both of these and right click, add selected object. And we move on to this part here. So we're going to select the map one here, UV map, copy, map one, select this one, delete, right click, add selected object, and so forth and so forth. So our thing is like we're going to select the map one, we're going to right click, map one, select this and delete it. So we're just doing our way, right click, put it on the layer. This handle, simply gonna go UV this, right click, copy to map one, delete, right click, add selected object. As you can see, it's a very repetitive process, but select here, UV map, click on the UV set editor, copy to map one, select this and delete. Right click, add that to the layer. Select this, map one, UV set, copy to map one, and delete. Right click and add selected object. And we have these two things. Select this, UV set, copy to map one. Select here, delete, right click and add selected object. Then we have this guy here, UV set, map one, copy, map one, select UV map, delete it, right click and add it to the object. Then we have the mirror. Select here, UV set, copy to map one, right click, delete, right click, add selected object. Click on these guys here. So we have this. So it's very repetitive. So I'm just gonna like do these and you need to just do them. Right click, add it. So we're gonna click on here, map one, Very repetitive, guys. I tried to look up this issue, what's causing this, and I haven't gotten a clear answer what is causing this. But this is one of the methods used to clean it up, this issue up. So we're just doing it. We're just doing it. So delete that. Go down to this piece on the map. Map one. And you have to go through all of these pieces and make sure you copy it over and make sure it's gone, okay? Pay attention to here. And there we go. There we go. All right, cool. So let's turn on back everything and select everything. You could right click and delete this folder. You could press delete history, and you could hide UV set editor, because we just went through and did all of these. Turn on your checker pattern. As you can see, the reason why we do that camera projection in the beginning is so that everything is at a good scale in here. But once we've done that, you know that I'm going to start selecting here, for example. I'm going to isolate this. I'm going to turn on my checker pattern. Okay. Then I'm going to go UV, 3D cut and sew tool. It's already on my shelf, but decide to go there and show you again. So turn off your grid. If you look on this piece, I'm going to minimize this. If you look on this piece, you notice that there's nothing here and there's nothing here. So we need to cut this down the middle here. As soon as we cut it, you see a thick white line. Remember that thick white line that we've been seeing? So this metallic, and you notice that the wagon is a wood, and we went through a different phase how to unwrap it. These are like metal tubes pieces, so keep that in mind. I'm going to select my selection tool. I'm going to right click and go object mode. Okay. And then I'm going to save my scene. Then I'm going to go to UV editor, press F to frame. I'm going to right click, go to UV shell, and right click and hold and go to UV shell. Right click, hold it, UV shell. Just like that. And you guessed it, after we cut, we're going to do unfold. After we've done an unfold, we're going to go align and snap, or arrange and layout, and we're going to go orient shell. This is a metal piece, so it doesn't matter which direction the UV shells are rotated, because this is all metal. So turn that on, and turn on the checker pattern. And as you can see, right click, go to object mode. This is beautiful. I want to turn on my other handle. So you might say, why do you UV unwrapping on both of them separately? Well, as you can see, you're gonna select the one that's good, shift select the other handle over here. Then I'm going to go to mesh, transfer attribute, option box. Then I want you to hit edit reset, make sure topology is checked on, and apply. As soon as I hit apply, you notice that the checker pattern for here is also good and everything is good. If you've been following my teaching so far, you know exactly what my next step is. Now that these two are transferred, you know that I'm going to go to edit, delete by type, history. And then I'm going to create a folder over here. Just click on the blue orb here and name it done and save. And then I could hide these two pieces that's already done. Unwrap. Simple, right? Just a lot of organization, a lot of fine tuning, and a lot of like the way we work. So here we are. We have this big glass piece here. Gonna select it, isolate it. Gonna turn off the shell. Looking at this piece, you notice it doesn't have a top. It doesn't have a bottom. And it looks like it's just one piece of geometry. There's no thickness to it. So let's get our UV 3D cut and sew tool and simply just find a spot and click here. Okay, so once you click there, you're gonna press Q on the keyboard, right click, go to UV shell, select the shell, and pick up this, and then go, oh no, it didn't cut. Okay, hold up there. So it does look like it has some kind of thickness. Hold on, minimize this. Okay. So get our cut tool. So I did this, but what else do I need to do? Okay, so it does have some thickness. So click here and cut there. And then at the top, it does have some thickness. So you're gonna click here and cut that. You understand? So I click a line around here, click a line around the bottom, it's very tiny. Then I click a line down the side. So if I go to UV editor, go to UV editor and press F, press Q on your keyboard now, right click, go to UV shell, select everything and unfold. I'm supposed to get that. I'm going to go orient shell, then I'm going to go layout, turn on the blue stuff, not this one, but the blue stuff here. All right, so you think you're done, right? These looks good. I'm gonna go to transform. I'm gonna rotate this 90 degree. All right, so you might think you're done with this, but if you're being really picky, you want your UVs to be straight. You want your UVs to be straight like this. Okay, guys? All right, look at this. See this? You want your UVs to be straight. So, well, how do you do that? Select the shell, and actually there's a couple of ways you can do. You can select your shell here, and then you're gonna go where it says straighten UV shell and click on here, straighten UVs, and you get something like that. Click on this one, straighten UVs, you get something like that. But you're not really out of the woods yet, because you're gonna right click, go to UVs, select this UVs here, and then you're gonna where it says align and snap. You want to go to this side here, select these ones here, and you want to align and snap over there. Then you want to select that and align and snap that way. Okay, so you see this piece is very straight. So we simply need to go and fix up this part too. So I'm going to right click, go to UV shell, select these, no, not UV shell, but UVs, select these, and just like make sure it goes that way. Select these ones, make sure it goes that way. At the top here, we could select everything again and maybe straighten UVs, and it's better. So you see, everything is flat, nice and flat. Because the reason why we do it this way, you never know. We just want to be a little bit perfectionist, kind of. Because, you know, if you turn on the checker pattern, let's bring up that or UV editor. Press F. Because you never know what kind of pattern you're going to be putting on this. So you don't want to, it can be fixed once you go to Painter and find out that the texture that you try to wrap around this, it has a weird thing. But with it being flat and square like this, it's just saving us like a lot of no headache. As you can see, UV checker pattern looks pretty good. And you can right click, go to object mode, and then go edit, delete by type, history. Then you right click, add it to the layer, unisolate the other guys, and then I'm gonna select all these wires here because they're similar. So just going around and select all of them, shift selecting all of them. I'm gonna isolate them and have them where I want them. So I'm gonna turn off the checker pattern here, minimize the UV editor. All right. So these ones are kind of tricky. Get our cut and sew tool. If you zoom in and look, you notice that these ones have like a cap here. So we're simply going to click a cap here. Then we're going to go to the bottom of it. Cut this cap here. Then you guessed it, we're going to cut a line in the middle here. Okay, let's see. Down here. See that? So we cut off the top, cut off the bottom, and cut a line down here. So what does that going to give us? Let's click on the selection tool, right click, object mode. What is this going to give us? Let's go to UV editor, press F to frame. Then I'm going to right click and go to UV shell, select the shell and unfold. This is what this is going to give us. So I'm going to scroll down and orient the shell. I'm going to big this up. And I'm going to go right click UV shell, W, move it away. And this is what this is giving us. So these little pieces here, we can just right click, go to edge, select the edge, shift right click and hold, move and sew. Shift right click and hold, move and sew. So we have that piece going with that piece. Shift right click here, shift right click and move and sew. Shift right click, move and sew. So those are okay at the bottom there. They're fine. So this one is okay. We're not going to do anything fancy in terms of straightening it. It's already kind of straightened. So this one could pass. All right, I'm going to right click, select this piece, edit, delete by type, history. I'm going to turn on my checker pattern. And now, as you see, these pieces are similar. So I'm going to shift select that. As you can see in the UV editor, the one that's good plus the one that's bad. Mesh, transfer attribute, option box, and hit apply. As soon as I hit apply, you know, you have to take a look. You have to take a look and look at what it's been transferred to and how the UV checker pattern is looking. Very important. So I'm going to shift select the other one, and I'm going to hit apply, transfer attribute. Shift select the other one, apply, shift select this one, apply, and shift select that one and apply. So these pieces are done. Go to edit, delete by type, history. Then you're going to right click and add selected object to that folder, unisolate. So we're going good. how about this guy here? So I'm gonna take this guy and shift select that one. I'm also gonna shift select this top piece here, and I'm just gonna isolate them. They're all different pieces, but I just decide that, hey, you know what? Get these guys unwrapped. So I isolate them. Please remember to save your scene. Okay, so let's tackle these one at a time. First up, this guy. So I'm gonna turn off my checker pattern on these for now. Turn it off. Minimize my UV editor. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna get my UV 3D cut and sew tool. And all this needs is like a line here and one of these short lines. If I zoom in, see where I cut a line here and one of these short lines. So I do this one first, then I do the other one. All right, so I'm gonna take my hand off this. I'm gonna right click and go to object mode. So I'm not gonna just unfold this just yet. I already cut it, guys. I already did my cuts. So how about this guy? This guy doesn't have any cap, as you can see. There's no cap here, there's no cap here. Easy. So get my knife tool, and I'm just gonna simply click once and it cuts to there. How about this guy? Well, this has a cap, so obviously you want to cut the cap. Zoom in, actually undo. It's very tiny to get up there. Zoom in. Position. Okay, it's very tiny. So I'm gonna double click on here so it cuts it around. I cut it around, so it's the one in the middle, by the way. So you have the line here, you have a line here, cut the one in the middle. Go to the next one. Cut that one. Then I'm gonna cut that one in the center. So there you go. All three of these pieces are cut up. So I'm ready to unfold. Select all of them, delete the history, go to UV editor, press F to frame, and right click, UV shell, select everything, and unfold. You could orient shell layout, and this is how it's been laid out. But one thing I could tell you, you could go in here again, right click, go to edge, select one of these edges, shift right click on hold, cut it. Then you're gonna right click, go to UV shell, select everything again, and do another layout. Okay. And you could choose to, okay, these doesn't have to go in a specific direction, by the way, because they're metal pieces. We just wanted them to be straight, and yeah, so like that. Okay, so those are good. And if you're being really picky, you could literally go in here like so, and just say straighten UV. So you see straighten. This is if you're being really picky. This one, straighten UV. Straighten UV. And press Ctrl S to save your scene. This is if you're being really, really picky. So This guy here, you could straighten UV. That's if you're being really picky, right? I'm not showing you the tools that you can get the job done with if you want it to be very picky. I'm picky sometimes. And then there's nothing wrong with being picky because we don't know what kind of texture is going to be going on it. We know it's a metal texture, but we want to make sure that our UVs are straight. Kind of like this guy. You see, most of these are straight? Yes. Okay, cool. So these ones are done. So I'm going to just go edit, go by type, straight. Right click, add it to the layer. Turn on these guys. Go file, save your scene. Then we have this thing here. So I'm going to unisolate it. Press F to frame. And this has some thickness to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a couple of things. So I'm going to take my cut tool. I'm going to cut the top here, the middle one here. As you can see, it's hard to see. So I'm going to press number 4 on the keyboard. So you see that, right? So you can see what's cut. So you press number 4, you can see like a wireframe and see through. Press number 5 to go back. So I cut one at the top there. Remember that. The next thing I'm going to do, look here. It doesn't look like it have any kind of thickness. So I'm just going to find a spot here and cut here. Okay. Then I'm going to go select the Q key, right click, UV shell. Then I'm going to go UV editor, press F to frame. I'm going to right click, go to UV shell, select the shell, and I'm going to unfold. Okay, cool. Very good. So next move, orient shell. Right click, go to shell, select this shell. Now you're wondering, sir, can you make this straight like the one that we had before? We could try. Because we never know what texture is going to be around this. And if I should turn on my checker pattern, I could show you what we're dealing with. You see where the texture is like going when it gets here? That is exactly how any texture will look. So all of the front is good, but like when it gets to the back, where this is, it's like really, the UVs are literally telling you what's going on here. See that? We don't want that, so we're going to be very picky and make sure that doesn't affect us. So I'm going to go straight to UV. Oh, so it doesn't work. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to show you a different way how to straighten UV. So I'm going to right click, go to UVs. I'm going to select just make sure you shift selecting, press Q on your keyboard. Shift selecting every UVs on this side, for example. Make sure you get everything. So hold on shift and just simply hold on shift and just select the ones on the corner. Shift select, shift select. We're gonna go here and then we're gonna click to this side here. I think we missed one, so maybe go back here, shift select here, and click on arrange and snap. We want to snap it to the right. Then the bottom one, we want to snap that to the bottom. Then over here, simply again we'll shift select and make sure we select control. You hold on control and shift and you select control and shift and you select. And this one you snap it to the right. So we missed something up top here, so go undo and go back, snap it to the right. Then you guessed it now. So the ones that I don't, what I could do is select everything in the middle here, like so, except the one at the bottom, and do an unfold. So as soon as I do an unfold, this is what I get, which is closer to our goal. So I'm going to select these guys here, press W, and just simply move them out like so. Grab these guys here. Okay. All right. The next thing we're going to do, yes, we definitely have to do this. So this one has some kind of thickness line here, so we have to be very careful. So I'm going to right click, go to UVs, and simply shift click. Yes, I know it's tedious. Shift click and select them. I know it's tedious. Yeah, I wish there was another way, but this is the way. So shift select. Shift select. The ones at the top, guys. Only the ones at the top. So once I have that, now I could align to the top. Then I could grab, I could probably select everything here now, and I could go straight in UVs. Let's see what happens. Don't do anything rash. Let's just wait. All right, beautiful. So as soon as I done that, you notice everything in the corner is straight. Well, what about these guys here in the middle? We need to set the UVs for them, and we simply need to unfold it, and we can work with that. So as you can see, we achieve. I'm going to right click, go to edges, select one of these edges, shift right click on hold, move and so. But yeah, as you can see, we just achieved. I'm going to turn on checker pattern and show you what we achieved. So you see now, there is no kind of twisting and turning when it comes to, I'm going to turn on my UV border here, this one. When it comes to here, there's no twisting and turning of the end pieces because your UV would have been like going like weird. And we just fixed that. So turn off your checker pattern, right click, go to object mode, go to edit, delete by type, history, right click on the done folder, add selected object to here. Turn on the rest, and we have this guy here. We could select both of these, by the way. Should select both of these since we're here. See what we're seeing? Okay. Isolate. Press F to frame. And then we have this guy here. So this is an interesting thing. It doesn't have a cap on the top, but it does have some kind of line. So I'm just going to cut one line, and it cuts there. For this guy here, we're going to click on here, and then we're just going to cut one line here. So one line loop around, one line on the short edge. And then we're done with this. Going to press the Q key on the keyboard, right click, go to object mode, select both of them, go to UV editor, press F to frame, shift right click, no, right click and hold, UV shell, select the UV shell and unfold, and here we are. Orient shell, layout, and you could choose to scale this in. Again, we have this piece again to talk about, right? What do you plan to do with this piece? You can leave it as is, or you want to be a perfectionist. I want to be a perfectionist. So I'm going to click straighten UVs and see what we got out of that. As soon as I hit straighten UVs, voila, everything looks good. What about this piece here? I can straighten the UV. How about that? There you go. Beautiful. So see that? Not straighten shell, straighten the UV. Okay, that's what I'm making you know about that. So these two pieces, just like that, are done. Right click, select everything, edit, delete by type, history. Right click, add selected object, turn this on. Okay, great. So we're down to these couple of pieces here. So let's go up here, and I think this guy is easy. So okay, the color so tool. This one have like some kind of cap here. I'm gonna press F to frame. Kind of cap here. So we're gonna click on that line. Then we're gonna go to the other side and click on that line. Then we're gonna cut one down here. And then we indeed have to cut another one. Cut here. Kind of like that. Yeah. I'm gonna press Q on the keyboard, right click, go to update mode. Go to UV set editor, press F. Right click, go to UV shell, unfold. For these little pieces, we're not gonna be so picky with them. Just gonna orient the shell. And you could literally choose to go to the edge and sew these edges together, like so. Right click, UV shell, select unfold. And you could just make them stay like this. These are very tiny pieces. We're just gonna throw a metal texture over it. So as you can see, they're very tiny, so nothing to be worried about. Turn on the checker pattern anyways. Shift select this piece. That's not good. And we're gonna go to mesh, transfer attribute, option box, and we're gonna make sure it's quality checked on, hit apply. So as you can see, I think that one is good. That one is good. You can delete history. And then we could drop them on this layer. Then we move on to these pieces here. Minimize UV editor. For now, transfer attribute, minimize that. Press F to frame. So you can see they're very tiny. But I have a trick for these flat pieces. What you could do, go to UV editor, press F to frame. What you can do with these flat pieces, you could go to UV, automatic mapping. As soon as you press automatic mapping, turn on the checker pattern, press F to frame, this is what we got. I don't think I like the automatic mapping. Undo, Control Z, undo that. I don't like it. Right click. All right, let's get our usual tool and press F to frame. It's very tiny. It's very tiny, so I can't even get to see to cut the edge. Maybe I'm gonna have to do automatic mapping. Who knows? So it's very. I'm using my middle mouse button to zoom in. And as soon as I start zoom in, maybe I'm gonna select the camera. Press Ctrl A. Select the camera. Select my other tool. Make sure the camera is selected. Where it said far plane, just put like 10,000, put like 000 and enter. Put a couple more 0. Press enter. Nothing happened. Nothing happened, guys. These are very tiny, so and like whenever I zoom in on them, it's giving me like a weird kind of, I can't really see them to cut. So maybe we do have to get to our UV editor, press F to frame. Object mode. Here. Maybe we're gonna have to do a UV automatic map. Press F to frame, but we can stitch it back together. So F to frame. Right click, go to edge, select an edge, shift right click and hold, move and so. Keep selecting, shift right click and hold, move and so. Shift right click on the edge, move and so. This one, shift right click, move and so. Right click, move and so. Right click, move and so, and you keep at it. As soon as you select one edge that looks like it, it's gonna highlight the other one, move and so it. Keep going. See, we're just gonna keep going. So right click, go to edge, select this piece, move that up there. We're not gonna straighten that or anything. So what about this piece here? So this piece here looks a little bit funny. So we're gonna right click, go to edge, and select this edge, shift right click and hold. We're gonna cut that piece off because we just need this piece here and that piece here. These two guys that looks alike, we're just gonna take them and put them together. And we just wanna like get these guys. Just right click here, select the edge. How about this part here? Shift select the home and so last but not least. So we come back down here with something like this, which is actually great. So layout, okay. Press R and the scale that bad boy in there. All right, cool. So we're done with that. But another thing we need to do, we need to get to a UV editor, press F to frame, turn on our checker pattern, because guess what? We're gonna transfer the UVs. Where's this thing? This thing got lost. This thing got lost. So I'm gonna select this and press F to frame. Okay, I select it. Where is it? So select the good one. Just select the bad one here. Then I'm gonna go to mesh. I'm gonna turn off the checker pattern just for a second. I'm gonna go to mesh, transfer attribute, option box. Make sure topology is checked on and apply. How about this one now? So select this. So that one looks like it's good. So that one looks like it's good. And yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. You can go delete history, so edit, delete by type history. And then you could right click and put that on the layer. And we're down to these guys here. So remember to save your scene. Where's my stuff? Just after frame. I'm not seeing my things. Here we go. Oh, I think I know what happened. Turn on my grid for a second. Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think my far plane clip, I'm gonna do Control A. I need to put this back to right and put some zeros in here. Select the lantern and press F. Okay. All right. Cool. We're back. Okay. So this guy here, gonna isolate that. Press F to frame and have a look at it. So it looks like we don't have to cut anything here. We could get away with something because it doesn't have a bottom and it's kind of flat. So we could get away with something here. So I'm going to press F to frame, right click, go to UV shell, select the shell, and unfold. So just like that. So that piece there is done. And we could select that, delete the history off of it, right click, add it to the layer. So we're down to this piece here, and that piece, and that piece. So what about this guy here? Well, let's investigate. But this doesn't have a cap here, but it has a cap there. So we're gonna get our cut to sew tool and click, and let's cut off that piece. Then we're gonna run a line down the center. Don't worry, it went all the way. You can see it went all the way. So press Q on the keyboard, right click, go to shell, select the shell, unfold, turn on the orient the shell, turn on the blue stuff. That is good. We're gonna leave it like that because, see, notice this is only like the key. This is only like the key thing that's going on here. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not like really like, you know, not like the camera is gonna zoom in there. I'm gonna delete history. Right click, add it to the layer. We're down to this piece here. So I'm gonna isolate that. I'm also gonna turn off my grid and have a look. So this piece here, we're gonna click here. We're gonna cut off the bottom here, like that. You can minimize the UV editor, cut off the bottom like that. Then I think I want to be able to cut off here also, like that. All right, cut off that piece. Then the next thing I want to do, I want to just cut a line in the back here. So look what I did. Cut a line on the bottom, cut a line underneath here, cut a line down the center. Okay, you see that? Remember, there's an open at the top too. So let's see if what we try is going to work out. I'm going to select my selection tool, right click, go to object mode, go to UV editor, press F to frame, right click, go to UV shell, select everything, unfold. I'm going to big this up, and I'm going to turn on the blue stuff here, and then I'm going to do a layout, and this is what we got. Now, again, remember, if we're being too picky, if we're being too picky, if that is not, you know, like, what if you want to put like a logo on this? I'm going to turn on checker pattern and show you again. You see what we're running into. You see how the checker pattern just kind of slant. That's how your texture gonna look at it if you apply this to this. This is how your texture gonna look, guys. So we can't let that happen. We cannot let that happen. So I'm gonna show you another UV trick to get a cylindrical kind of object done. So we're gonna right click, go to faces, select the faces that we want to have the checker pattern a little bit more straighter. Leave these guys over here. Then I'm gonna go UV, cylindrical. Now I could click on this gizmo here and simply left click and drag it until it's closed like so. And then it has a gizmo here, so I could like scroll down and watch these guys going straight. So like that, see that? Very good. You see that now? Very good. See that? How cool is that? Press the W key and you can move this wherever you want. And then you could obviously turn off the checker pattern now. Obviously in the center there's a hole in here, but you can fix that. Right click, go to UVs, grab the UVs that you want to take care of here, which is these guys, and you want to unfold it just like that. Okay guys, just like that. And then you're gonna right click, go to object mode, turn on the checker pattern, and everything looking amazing. Scale properly, everything is looking good. Go to edit, delete by type, history. We're not packing them yet, so let's just right click, add it to layer, isolate the rest of the things, profile, save your scene. And we're down to these guys here. Now we have this piece here. If you look at it, I'm gonna turn on the checker pattern. You notice that this piece here, I'm gonna minimize this a little bit. This piece here is rather interesting. It doesn't have any thickness to it, so that's why we don't have to cut anything here. Press F. You can right click, go to UV shell, select the shell and unfold. See that? Just like that. We don't have to cut anything, which is good. Delete history and right click and add it. So I think we're down to this piece. And this piece is a flat piece, so easy one. File, save. Go to edit, UV, you go to UVs, automatic map. Pick this up, and then you can right click, go to edge, highlight the edge, shift select, shift, hold on, shift and right click, moving so, and then right click, you can set the shell and unfold it, and you can move out the shell and shift right. You can go right click and go to right click and hold and go to edge, select the edge, shift right click and hold, moving so, and then you shift right click and hold, moving so, shift right click and moving so. And you could probably run another unfold out here. Okay, press R to scale. Right click, go to object mode, delete the history, and right click and add it to here. Now I'm going to delete this thing here because we're gonna select everything. This is gonna be glass, so this is glass. So I'm gonna select the glass, right click, select everything, and layout. See that? We're gonna take the glass, I'm gonna press R, and I'm gonna scale this in a little bit. Remember we were going through problems with the card when stuff was going over the 0 to 1 space. Remember that? Now we are very experienced of that, so we're gonna make sure that this doesn't happen to us. So the glass, I'm gonna select the glass, click on the icon here, I'm gonna call it glass layer. And and save, and you can turn it off. Then we have these guys here. So all we're gonna do is select everything. Everything here is metal. So select the metal, right click, go to shell, and simply layout. I'm gonna press R. I'm gonna scale this in a little bit while we're there. And as you can see, guys, this is how our UVs are. You know, you can even turn on your checker pattern and have a look for yourself. So let's get everything in there. So this is how our checker pattern turned out. You can turn on your grid too. So this is our beautiful UV turned out, guys. All right, cool. Gonna turn off back my glass layer, and this layer I'm gonna add it to a new layer here and simply call it metal underscore layer and save. Okay, so now I have the metal and I have the glass. So if you remember what we should do, we're gonna save our scene. First of all, we're gonna select everything. We're gonna go to edit, delete by type, history. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go to Hypershade, and then we're gonna create 2 Lamberts. So 1, 2. This one is gonna be called lamp underscore glass underscore matte. I'm gonna copy the name, and this one is gonna be called lamp underscore metal underscore matte. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, very good. You could give them a color. I'm just gonna give this like a bluish. And you can turn off your metal, shift, click on, no, not click, shift, but you right click and hold, assign it to the material, glass material. Turn it off, turn on this, select everything, shift right click, not shift right click, but right click and hold, assign it to the material, and this is metal, and there we are. Now, everything is good, and we're ready to take this to the ZBrush to do like a little, we're going to take this to the ZBrush just to have a little bit of fun. Just a little bit of sculpting, we're going to give it to it. So we need to export 2 of these. So I'm going to select that, like so. And I'm going to select that. Select that, save your scene, and then we're gonna go file, version up, save as, so version 3. Remember, I always preach every class that you should have multiple versions. Not only back it up on your portable hard drive, but remember to back it up on your OneDrive, anywhere you could back up these files. So, you know, files get corrupted, hard drive get crashed, and you just want to make sure you're okay. You know, so let's back up your files, save multiple versions. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select everything. Then I'm going to go File, Export Selection. So I'm gonna go into surface and fall. I'm gonna go to scene, object, and this one is gonna be called, I'm gonna go to right click here. I'm gonna do a FBX export, and this one is gonna be called old lantern. And then we're gonna export selection. All right, export selection. After we export selection, then yeah, we're ready to either go to ZBrush, or you could also export another selection. Like I export FBX now, but I could export a selection for, I'm gonna make this an OBJ export. And this is the one that we would bring into old lantern. This is the one that we'll bring into ZBrush. So we'll bring the FBX in Painter, bring the OBJ in ZBrush. Okay, export selection. All right, just like that. All right, cool. So see you guys next class. In class, you guys don't have to get this done, but it would be nice if you do by next class, so we could just focus on texture. Thank you.